In his first visit to Brussels since he took office in 2009, U.S. President Barack Obama repeatedly stressed that the U.S. and the EU remain united against Russia after Moscow took over the Crimean peninsula earlier this month. Speaking at the end of the U.S.-EU summit on Wednesday, Obama threatened Russian President Vladimir Putin with further sanctions if Moscow does not change course, but he left diplomatic doors open.
If anyone in the Russian leadership thought the world wouldn't care about their actions in Ukraine, or that they could drive a wedge between the European Union and the United States, they clearly miscalculated. Russia stands alone. Russia stood alone when trying to defend its actions at the UN Security Council. The 28 members of the European Union are united. The 28 members of NATO are united. Every member of the G7 has imposed sanctions on Russia.
Addressing concerns that Moscow could limit gas imports to the EU in retaliation against recent economic sanctions, Brussels is pressing Washington to find ways to reduce Europe's energy dependency on Russia.
We agreed to step up our efforts to boost growth and job creation on both sides of the Atlantic, and that includes working to conclude a transatlantic trade and investment partnership. And let me add, once we have a trade agreement in place, export licenses for projects for liquefied natural gas destined to Europe would be much easier, something that's obviously relevant in today's geopolitical climate.
Energy security, and what we can do together to reduce Europe's dependency on Russian gas. Our G7 energy ministers will meet on this soon. In days like these, forging even stronger economic ties across the Atlantic is also a powerful political sign. A way to show our public opinions and the world who we are at heart, in Europe and in America. Economies based on rules, societies based on values, and proud of being so.
EU and US leaders are set to hold a meeting next week to discuss energy cooperation.